Now we're looking at tangent segments and the different properties of tangent segments. One of the ideas or theorems you should have come up with in your vocab was that if we have a tangent here and we have a radius here, then this forms a right angle. So in this problem we want to prove that ST is tangent to the circle P. So if it is tangent, then like I said, this forms a right angle and this is a right triangle. So really what they're asking when they say, is it tangent, we're asking, is this a right triangle? And the way we can prove this is a right triangle is by using a squared plus b squared equals c squared. If you notice, ST is 35, TP is 12, and SP is 37. So really what we're asking is 12 squared plus 35 squared, is that equal to, so we put a question mark here, 37 squared. So this gives me 144 here, 35 squared I believe is 1225, and 37 squared is 1369. If we add these two together we get 1369, and those two are equal. Therefore, we can say yes. ST is tangent to circle P. Okay? And again, there's a bunch of words here. We're proving that, and we want to prove that PST is a right triangle so that ST and PT are perpendicular. So ST is perpendicular to the radius, and therefore ST is tangent to circle P. For the second one, we want to find out, we know this is a tangent, so what we want to do is we want to find out what the radius is. Well, again, using a squared plus b squared equals c squared, we know the radius is r, so we say r squared. The other side, or the other leg, because this is a right angle, is 80, so we'd say 80 squared, and the hypotenuse is actually 50 plus r. So we put 50 plus r in there. Whoops, sorry. And make sure when you do this, what you're actually doing is 50 plus r times 50 plus r. And you're doing FOIL to solve this. So we'd get 2500. Outer terms are 50r, inner terms are 50r, so we get 100r here, and then the last term here gets me r squared. So here we have r squared plus 6400, and this gives me 2500 plus 100r plus r squared. The nice thing about this is when we subtract r squared from both sides, those cancel out. We end up with 6400 equals 2500 plus 100r. Subtracting 2500 from both sides, we end up with 3900 equals 100r, and dividing both sides by 100, we end up with a radius of 39 feet. Okay? Show it to you again. Our equation is as follows. You can say r plus 50 or 50 plus r, it doesn't matter. You'd get the same thing that we got. The r squareds cancel, and we end up with 100 equals 39. 100r equals 3900. Dividing both sides by 100, we get 39 feet. There's another property that you should have learned, that if we have two tangent segments that meet at one point, then we know that these two legs are equal. If we want to find the value of x, all we do is we say 3x plus 4 is equal to 28. Subtracting 4 from both sides, we end up with 3x is equal to 21. Dividing both sides by 3, we get x is equal to 7. So again, showing it to you, we set those equal to each other, and we solve. Oops, sorry, went too fast. So x is equal to 8 there. And here's another one. This one's a little bit tricky because if we look at it, we get 3 here, we get 4 here, and then it says from here to here is 2. Well, this is our radius. So we know this is 3. So in this case, we know it's 5. Hopefully you can tell that this is a 3, 4, 5 triangle. If you don't recognize that, you have to do 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared and do all the work for that. So you'd get 9 plus 16 equals 25, or 25 equals 25. So the answer here would be yes. And you can either remember that it's a 3, 4, 5 triangle or do this work. Here's another one where we have to solve. Again, we have r squared here plus 24 squared, and on the hypotenuse it's r plus 28. So we'd have r squared plus 24 squared equals, we'll say r plus 18 squared this time. We have r squared here plus 576 here. That's equal to r squared. And I'm going to do this a bit quicker. This middle term is really 2 times this, so that makes that 36r. And then the last term is 18 squared, which is 324. The r squareds are going to cancel out. We get 576 equals 36r plus 324. Subtracting 324 from both sides, we end up with 252 equals 36r, and 252 divided by 36, if we divide both sides by 36, we end up with r is equal to 7. So we get 7. And here's one more. Again, we set these equal to each other. We get x squared is equal to 9. And be careful here. If we square root both sides, there's actually 2 answers, because 3 will work, but also negative 3 will work. So you can write it like that, or you can say plus or minus 3. Okay. And we're done. Thanks.